What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And we have a special plus one interview. We have Army Veteran Jason Thompson that came down to chat with me. Talked about a whole bunch of things about time as an Army, how he grew as a man from being in the Army. Also talk about the fundraiser he got coming up in June that'll be taking place down in Peabody. A lot of stuff. So Army vet Jason Thompson, he sat down with me. Check out this plus one interview. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Plus One interview. And today we got a special guest. We got Mr. Jason Thompson here with us. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for coming down here to chat with me. We're gonna chat about some good things Jason has going on. But first, how's everything been for you, man?
Life's good right now.
Yeah.
Just getting ready to do this fundraiser and raise some money for our veterans. So I'm happy right now.
Right, and this fundraiser will be taking place next month, May 8th.
June 8th.
I said June 8th. 2 months from now. You see how I'm all over the place. June 8th, this fundraiser will be taking place at the Metro Bowl. First, give us a little background on how this all got started. How you got involved with this fundraiser.
Well, 15 years ago, the home base program started, and home base is based in Charlestown, Mass. Basically, after the Red Sox won the World Series, Larry Lucchino and Tom Warner took the team to Walter Reed Medical Center in D.C. And when they were there, they were looking at our soldiers that were there, and they thought, there has to be a better way to take care of them. So when they came back, they got with Mass General Hospital and the doctors there, and they formed the home base program. So like I said, it's based in Charlestown, Mass. Mm-hmm. From there, they started off doing this run to home base. This is the 15th year. Mm-hmm. This is the 15th year that I've been a part of it. And every year I do different fundraisers. Before the pandemic, I was doing my stuff at Lazy Dog and Lynn. Mm-hmm. But when the pandemic started, all hell broke loose. Yeah. So, people stopped doing fundraisers. So for the last 3 years, I've been here at Metro Bowl. And the first year we had 12 teams. Last year we had 23. And this year I'm hoping to sell the place out.
Yeah, definitely. All going to a good cause. And you being a veteran yourself, how does it make you feel when you just see some of your fellow soldiers going through some of the things they go through, and even if they're getting the proper help that they need or not, but just when you see like some of the stuff they're going through post military and all that, and trying to insert themselves back into like the real world and all that.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. People see soldiers come home and they think, okay, they're home, they're safe. They're no longer in a war zone. They're not getting shot at or anything like that. But the reality is, you leave a part of you there. Mm-hmm. Because of the things you see, the things that you do. And that's where PTSD comes in. And PTSD is huge. That's why the home base program is huge for this, because they that's their main thing. They take care of PTSD, traumatic brain injuries. Mm-hmm. Because these guys, they're out there shooting. They're out there, getting attacked. And let's be honest, our military does things that the average person doesn't do or shouldn't do. Mm-hmm. And we see things that the average person shouldn't see or shouldn't do. So it takes a toll on you. And a lot of these guys, they're coming back and they're back into society and living their life, and they're like, wait a second, something's wrong. I'm off. Something's off. And a lot of guys, because we're taught to fight and not say anything that is wrong, they keep it inside of them, and eventually it just overtakes them, and unfortunately they end up taking their life. Mm-hmm. That's why this program, the home base program, is vital. Mm-hmm. Because if you come forward and say, I have a problem, I have an issue, you have a place to go now. Mm-hmm. People come to home base from all over the country. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we lose 22 veterans a day to suicide. And basically what the home base program is trying to do is get that number down as close to zero as possible.
Yeah, just off, it don't have to be exact. Just how many like vets do you think have come through from the home base program that you guys have helped since this program has begun? Just, it don't have to be an exact number. But
I
just
believe the last number I saw was right around 30,000 veterans that's gone through the program.
That's great.
That's a lot. That's a lot, and it's great.
Yeah. And then a little further, you was telling me this before the cameras came on about how this started kind of after 9/11 when guys were coming back from 9/11. Can you just tell the audience a little bit about that? What you were telling me?
Yeah, basically, I mean, after the Red Sox won the World Series and Larry Lucchino and Tom Warner went to Walter Reed, they saw what our veterans were going through. They saw, and we've never had a facility that can deal with just PTSD and traumatic brain injury. Yeah. And they got with Mass General, and that's when they come up with the home-based program. And this basically just deals with, traumatic brain injuries. Yeah.
And then, you being a vet yourself, Desert Storm. Yes. I said the wrong word earlier before we got on Desert Storm. When you first decided to go into the military, and then when you were done, what were some of the lessons that you learned from being in the military, from going into Desert Storm, that's kind of helped you along your way and helped you to this point in your life?
I'll give you a quick statement that my father said to me when they came down to basic training graduation, and I met my parents, and he saw me walk in to the building, and he said to me, he says, I knew that you were no longer a kid, that you were a man, just by the way you walked. And that's what the military does. The military, it changes you. You got to think that an average platoon is probably 30 to 40 guys, okay, and girls now. So you have to take them 30 or 40 different people from different areas of the country and basically strip them down to nothing and build them back up as a unit. So you change. You get discipline. You learn authority. You learn how to be on time. And you learn so many different things. But you change. You have to change. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, and for me, I went in right out of high school. I graduated in June. I was in basic training by the end of September. I went to AIT. I was actually supposed to go to AIT at Fort Dix, New Jersey, but because Desert Storm had kicked off, they kept me at the transportation school right there at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I graduated, and a week later, I was at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, getting my gear. 2 days later, I was in Saudi Arabia. Wow. So I'm a 19-year-old kid sitting in the middle of the desert wondering, what am I doing here?
And this is all within a 5-6 month span after you had graduated high school.
Exactly.
Right. So all the people are in college, they're enjoying their first or second semester. You have to deal with. You have to deal with the war.
Be thousand miles away from your family, away from your friends. Yeah, it's a change. It's a culture shock. Yeah. But I tell people all the time, I kind of liken it to being a police officer, a firefighter, doctor, first responder. Yeah. It takes a special kind of person to be in the military. You can't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to join the military, because it doesn't work. Yeah. It takes a special type of person to put that uniform on.
And also, in being that you're around the world, you're seeing different things and stuff, does that give you a kind of a different perspective on just how to deal with people, because you've been on a different side of the world dealing with different cultures? I mean, just different everything. And then we living in a place like Lynn, we got so many different cultures here, so it's kind of easier to adapt and talk to people. But did that kind of help you also, just understanding different people, different cultures, and just how people do things differently in the normal way that folks do things in America, and they don't do that in this part of the world. They don't do that in this part of the world. That gave you that perspective?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you like I said, you come across all walks of life. Right. I mean, not even out of the country, just in the this country alone. I mean, we're coming from Massachusetts, the Northeast,
Right.
and you're dealing with somebody from the South,
Right.
You know,
right.
and a lot of these people go to basic training, and it's the first time they've seen a black person.
Right.
You know, and so it's different. It's cultures. You know, we actually had two kids in my platoon that were from Puerto Rico, and they spoke zero English, so it was hard to communicate, but they understood and they grasped it, and you know, so yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, I spent 3 years in Hawaii, so learning that culture and understanding, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough, but you learn and you understand, and you kind of, when you're actually in the culture itself,
Right.
you understand. You know, some of the hatred, or you understand some of the reasons why they don't totally get Americans. You know, so you learn that and you understand it, and you learn from it.
Yeah, definitely, and that's I'm glad you brought that up, because now you have two different kind of perspectives. You talk about having guys in your platoon from the South, from Puerto Rico, you know, from different regions of the U.S. So now you're also learning about you know, the cultures in different parts of the U.S. that you know you probably wouldn't learn if you didn't have the chance to travel around the U.S. and now. So you getting that. I feel like that's kind of the best thing with stuff like that, when you go around and you meet different folks from different areas just to learn, and it gives you like a different it makes it easier when you go somewhere to deal with people and like know how to talk to people, or know, like, you know, what kind of triggers them, what doesn't trigger them, just because you've been around somebody that may have been around their same neck of woods. What was your favorite place to be while in the military?
I mean, I would have to say Hawaii, just because it's paradise.
Right.
You know, I mean, yes, we were there in the military. We had a job to do.
Right.
But I mean, you had your downtime, and you could enjoy and embrace the culture, and you could have fun. You know, so I would say the 3 years I spent in Hawaii were a great time. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, got to meet a lot of different people from a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I learned something from everywhere I went.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, the first duty station I went to, you know, I learned how to become a better soldier because of the people that I was around. You know, I just. And there's decisions that you make throughout your career that you wish you would have done differently. Like, I had a chance to go to Washington, D.C., you know, to work in the White House motor pool, but I had orders for Hawaii, so I took Hawaii.
Right.
You know, it's just who doesn't take Hawaii in that situation? But I mean, you learn.
Yeah,
you learn.
Yeah, definitely. And also with this fundraiser, the Lynn Veterans Association is involved with, is assisting, or.
But yeah, there people that are on the Lynn Veterans Council with me.
Yeah.
You know, they're actually going to come to the event. They're very supportive of me and everything that I've done. So yeah, a lot of them will be there. But this is basically this is my thing.
Yeah.
You know, this is my thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because we got there's a good amount of like veterans around this area as well.
Yes.
That you know, that I've seen through the Lynn Veterans Council and stuff from the events they do, and like the Swampscott one, because they like collaborate sometimes.
Well, yeah, the Lynn Swampscott DAV, Chapter 64. Yeah, we have us. We have the Lynn Veterans Council.
Yeah.
And actually, this past weekend, I was up in Concord, Mass, for the Tough Ruck, which is 26.2 miles of guys, women, kids. Doing a marathon with rucksacks on.
Okay.
I didn't do it myself. I volunteered to do it, but it's definitely something on the bucket list.
Definitely.
Yeah, the veteran community around here it's amazing.
Yeah.
We have a ton of veterans. We're trying to get more veterans on the Veteran Council.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to open the eyes of the veterans of the services that we have here in Lynn.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had a battle to try to keep the health center here in Lynn.
Yeah.
You know, so we're trying to get it out there to people to, come use the health center, use the facilities that are there, because if not, we're going to lose it.
Yeah, definitely, man. But once again, June 8th. 8th, we got the bowling fundraiser. If you love bowling, make sure to contact Jason. He'll tell you more about it if you're interested. This will be down at the Metro Bowl in Peabody.
Yes.
All right. He's expecting a sellout. If you like bowling, just go in there. Or even if you just want to go and watch, just go there and support.
Just come out and watch. We're gonna have a lot of raffles, a lot of good prizes to do. Some free pizza. So yeah.
Any special speakers or any or that type, or it's just
No real speakers. It's basically just a bowling fundraiser. Come out, bowl, have fun. Buy some raffles. I'll be there, but I mean we have other veterans that are there.
Yeah.
We'll have city officials that are there. Supporting. I mean, because Lynn is a very, very supportive city. People throw the term around all in, but in all reality, there's a lot of all in, because if you go to these events, you're going to see the same faces there, and that's the great thing is we all support each other.
Yeah, definitely make sure you check that out. June 8th, Metro Bowl in Peabody. Check out Jason. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Thank you for everything you're doing as well, too, because I know it's not easy putting something like this together, but somebody got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
You're made for the job for it, man. You all been watching Athletes Corner. I said Athletes Corner. You all been watching Plus One Interview. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. My mind is working like. Once again, big thank you to Jason Thompson for coming down and chatting with me. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all learned something, got a different perspective on certain things. But just overall, hope you all enjoyed the insight from Jason, and go support his fundraiser. It's doing a great thing for the vets. So I'm Kyle Kabongo, signing out. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.